What is up, everyone? Welcome to Mechs on Deck. It is Wednesday, July 15th, and we have a special guest today, Mr. Pikku-Allu, continuing our Keycap designer month. He is the designer of Gmk Dracula, one of the most popular sets from 2019, as well as an upcoming set, Gmk Symbiote, which I hope I said that right. How are you doing, man?
Yep. Hi, I'm doing great. Thanks.
What about you, Chewy? How's it going?
Good, man. It's been a bad luck day. It's when I pulled a muscle in my leg just walking down the stairs, and then I stepped on a staple, and that just went right in my foot. So it's been one of those days, just
Oof.
I'm just like waiting for something from the ceiling to fall on my head. But we're good. It's Wednesday night. It's Mechs on Deck. We got Pikku-Allu, which my first question is, how did you land on Pikku-Allu?
It's actually Pikku means little in Finnish, and Allu is my nickname, and my first name is Aleksi, and Allu is the nickname for Aleksi, and it's little Allu basically.
There it is.
Or Lil Allu, like some have said.
My
It's not a
brain
rapper name.
instantly went to all of the Finnish Counter-Strike players there with the with the explanation.
No. Yeah.
So, but yeah, for if you don't know, and for those who do not know, we like to start off our stream with the Fast Four. So, first and foremost, what are your top 4 favorite switches?
Definitely vintage blacks are my favorite, and lubed vintage blacks with light springs. I don't have any specific spring weight or even lube. Something like Tribosys 3203 or 3204 or just grade 0 Tridox. Yeah. And I cleaned some vintage blacks with the ultrasonic cleaner recently. I have yet to build a board with those. My second favorite switch is Helios V2s, all lubed. Everything has to be lubed, of course.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and then my third favorite switches must be Sakurios or Roselios. Both are. It's just a weight difference. Those are really nice. And maybe black inks.
So tactiles, just your favorite, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate tactiles, but I have yet to build a board with those. At least recently, I've just moved on to the linears. It's just so much nicer.
I mean,
yeah,
you like what you like, right? That's
yeah.
I dare I say I've been enjoying linears more and more, the more that I use them.
Yeah.
But next up will be your top 4 favorite boards.
Yeah. My favorite board has to be HHKB Type S, and it has to be the JP version.
Ooh, fancy.
So,
Has Dixie tried to steal that from you yet?
Nope. I don't think he'd like to use this one.
the ISO might throw him off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those are quite rare. As Kinnick said, I mean, was that just like an easy find, or were you able to track that down pretty easily?
Yeah, I bought it a few years ago from Mech Market.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's my daily driver. It's so good. It's so nice. It's not lubed, but there's the Jesus controller. It's with Jesus controller.
Dixie's screaming at us that he actually does have one right now.
with the high pro set.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I guess he likes it then.
There you go.
Don't remember.
It's okay for Dixie to be wrong. So,
what's the other 3 top boards?
My second favorite is the TGR 910, and the polycarbonate one. It sounds amazing. I'm talking about boards that I own myself. Is it a requirement in this?
No, it can be boards.
It can be.
Yeah, but I thought it'd be nice to talk about my boards, so I can actually show them as well.
Okay.
Would be much more interesting. So this one.
The coveted Polycarb 910. One that
with SoWare, old school,
Yep.
man. I have not seen that set on a board in a very long time. I can't
Yeah,
imagine there are that many of those just laying around at this point.
Yeah. I didn't buy it originally.
Hmm.
It's not from the original.
That was from Oko, I think,
But-
right?
I
I want to say that was originative.
think it was
Keycap.
yeah, I think it was Keyclack. That's one of the
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Keyclack
Oh, yeah.
sets.
Yeah. My third favorite is probably TGR Alice. I like all TGR boards. They're so nice.
They are. It's like
So beautiful.
it's like the classic car of the keyboard community, like the classic muscle car. It's like kind of timeless.
Yeah. And maybe my fourth favorite is the N dash from Finder Works.
Mhm. Yeah, I haven't seen too many of those with light either. I don't know how many
Yeah.
they made.
Yeah, I mean it's not a public buy yet.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very excited to see those. Okay, so next up, we've got keycaps. We're going to limit you. We're going to say you can't choose Dracula and you cannot choose Symbiote. So top 4 favorite keycap sets.
My favorite Keycap set is Gmk Solarized Dark. It's a very recent set. I bought extras. I bought it from the extras that Keycap still had. And the colors are beautiful, even though they weren't like in the renders. It's still super cool set.
Mhm.
Yeah, and my second favorite is GMK Oblivion, the monochrome version of it. It's very classy. And third favorite, GMK Yuri with the Cyrillic alphas.
Like
Can't go
the
wrong with
Cyrillic
that.
legends.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't have those on a board right now.
Did you
And
did you pick up SA Yuri?
no, I did not actually. I think it was too expensive
Mm.
for what it is.
Yeah. It's kind of
I'm
SA's
not.
expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's beautiful, no doubt.
Yeah,
And
that's always the tough part about SA is like it's usually really pricey, but like most of the time sets look so good in SA in that particular colorway. Like GMK Godspeed to me just still looks not right. Like, that's one of the but like camping, it looks better in SA. It looks good in GMK, but it looks better in SA. And like I like laser more. I like laser more as an SA. I really don't like GMK SA. All right, fuck with that.
yeah. Yeah, my fourth favorite is probably SoWare. GMK SoWare.
Interesting. You
Yeah.
you like some sets that maybe some people haven't heard of. I know SoWare's not like a super popular, well-known set at this point, and then I know a lot of people are not big fans of Solarized Dark, mainly because of what you said, where they didn't
Yeah.
match. But interesting.
Yeah, it's not matched, but it's so pretty. Still.
Mm-hmm.
It does look good. I like the blue for the alphas. Does look really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it works real well with white as well. White board.
Oof. Yeah, and you get to that point too where it's kind of like at what point do you stop caring about what the renders are and start being like, well, that's the keycap set, and like you can like it for what it is now, or how it exists now, as opposed to what the renders and the comparisons to. I am curious to know what that like amount of time where people just stopped caring about the fact that it didn't look like a render and start going, well, I'm just going to judge it off of how it looks in real life.
Yeah.
Last up, this is one that I am interested in with you being from overseas over in Finland. What are your top 4 favorite foods?
I don't have any specific dishes or anything, but probably sushi. Any sushi is pretty good. And homemade pizza. And just avocado on toast with some other toppings. And a good burger with Beyond Meat.
Ooh, can't go wrong.
Beyond Meat, the Impossible Burgers are good as well.
They're both my wife is vegetarian and she does, so we've tried multiple different Beyond and Impossible burgers and they're good. Some of them are like weird that you're like, hold on. Like some of them you have to kind of catch yourself and be like, I have to like double check to make sure this is not meat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sometimes really hard to tell.
So guys, if you do not know, GMK Dracula is one of the best selling sets, with the asterisk on Modern Dolch Light, because it is very similar to Muted. I believe it's probably the second best selling round 1 set ever. It was the highest selling set at the time back in October, smashing through records of kind of blew us away. When we saw Oblivion run that previous summer, they had hit record numbers, but no one really, no one didn't. That was very much to be expected. It was a sought after kit, and then this kit kind of comes out of nowhere with Dracula and just shatters all these records. It's still, for a round 1 set to sell that much is amazing. So congratulations to that. And so I want to talk about Dracula for a little bit. We'll get into the symbiote in a little bit. But for now, Dracula. So can you tell us how that kind of started, how that entire process started?
Yeah, I've been using the Dracula theme on my code editors for many years now, and it has always been my favorite theme. And I actually had the idea of doing a GMK set using the Dracula theme, probably in 2014, 2015. And just last year I decided to just do it. Yeah.
There you go. And then you put together one of the best interest checks that I think the community still has ever seen. Can you talk to us about kind of what went on in the design of that interest check? You set the standard of how interest checks should be done with that much attention to detail.
That was actually a lot of thought went into that, and the interest check was put together in it took multiple days. I actually just sent myself private messages on Geekhack many times. Many messages, so I kept track of the progress that way. And I just had all these ideas about how it would be funny to have like text like where you'd install the set. Like there was GMK install, and for those who know anything about development and coding will probably know what those mean, and those are pretty pretty real, almost like real things
Nice.
when developing
Mhm.
and installing different packages.
How did you end up on the like movie poster idea for that main picture for the render at the top, and then as far as like the kitting, having it be like having the credits underneath?
Oh, well, I think it was just because I bought the font and because I thought it was really cool, and I guess it was because of that. I just tried it out and it looked really good. It was a font made just for that purpose. So yeah, I just try things out and see what looks best. And the whole poster thing, uh, I just decided it looked cool, so I did it. That's all there is to it, really.
It does. It definitely worked.
I
It
mean,
was.
it fucking looks cool.
It's a cool
Thanks.
touch to kind of advertise it that way, because it makes it look like an advertisement rather than just a here's my key set. Do you like it or not? It makes it look more professional.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually a graphic designer by trade and love doing all sorts of things like that.
Absolutely. So obviously, I mean, kind of just based off of your favorite sets, kind of easy to put two and two together with the kind of Oblivion style multicolored modifiers. Was that something you knew you wanted to go have in like from the get go? And how was choosing where the colors go and what color goes where on the set? How was that process?
Well, the having multiple colors, it's kind of obvious to do that with these themes, where there are multiple theme colors, and of course, I've seen Oblivion and Polarized Dark and all these theme-based sets, and I just started seeing what looks good and gathered feedback from other designers, and just it was a process, sorry. And the colors are arranged almost like a color fan. I mean, they are pretty like, how would you say that?
Like
Like each color has its place, and
Yeah, I mean it's like a rainbow
yeah,
Mhm.
Roy G. Biv.
almost. Yeah, and the yellow is, I think the yellow is really essential to the look of the set, and I think it looked best to have it in the bottom corners for control. And I had to the kids had to have all these extra keys because of that,
Mhm.
for different layouts. I mean, for HHKB layouts there are extra 1U code keys that are yellow. So the board could still have yellow legends even with that layout.
Which
Yeah.
is that's a nice attention to detail, because I feel like a lot of people that would be designing a set may not think of all of those things and may not have that idea in mind of, oh, I need this color placed here. How do I
Yeah.
make that work on every layout?
Yeah, that was really difficult, and a lot more goes into designing those kits than you might think. A lot more.
What
Mhm.
were some other things that you had to overcome when doing the kitting?
Well, of course, you had to prioritize different layouts and other less used layouts you had to maybe leave out. And of course, I still had I still have some keys that are there because of my own preference, and because of that, there's a 1U backspace or split backspace in the base kit.
Ooh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I appreciate when people do things that are like, I'm doing this for me and I don't care. Like it's that like I feel like a lot of times we see people kind of just go, oh, I'm gonna do this for everybody. And this set very much seems like I wanted to make this for me and I wanted this kit and these kits to be for me. So I'm just gonna do it that way and not listen to anybody else. I respect that like hard. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So how I know that unfortunately, as much as I'm sure we would all love to have Dracula in hand, it has been a minute, and I know that the color matching process has been a work, I guess. At the end of the day, it's work, and I mean that's tough because you have a lot of contrasting colors, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different colors. If that
Yep.
sounds 9 with the red.
I think it's 8.
Maybe I might have
Probably.
counted one. But so how is that process going? And how is how are you feeling about the colors right now?
Right now we're back on track, but before there were really big delays, and those were caused by the coronavirus and the factories being shut down, and GMK couldn't get their plastic supply, and it's really only because of that the color matching is delayed right now, and it has been out of our hands, me and Dixie. It's all GMK.
Really unfortunate because there's a lot of sets that are really far behind because of that. Because I know it's been taking between like 6 and 9 months for some people to get renders. Also, thank you 159 for the 1 year. I know he was struggling with the same thing with getting a sample for Bingsu for like a year. Not a year, but it felt like a year. It's unfortunate. But speaking of colors and kind of similarities between other things, I know that with them both being IDE based sets, what are some of the similarities and differences between Oblivion and Dracula? Because I imagine that it's been compared many times.
Yeah. I know Oblotsky prefers the text only modifiers, and I really like the text plus icon modifiers. And I also had the idea where there's more more area for the colors in the text plus icon modifiers to show off the colorful legends. I thought it was also really good to use, really good reason to use the text plus icon modifiers. And about the bottom row, Oblotsky has an easier way of doing the bottom row. There are not that many individual legend colors for different keys, so there doesn't need to be multiple extra keys for different layouts that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's smarter that way, but it looks different. And I actually got very good advice from Oblotsky about having white legends on the 10 keyless keys and the numpad. And in the original first interest check, I actually had pink legends on all the other keys that were not the other colors, and that was really busy looking. And Oblotsky really gave me really good advice and gave me the idea to use white on the rest of the keys, so it would look much cleaner.
Awesome that he kind of helped you out with that, because I know sometimes when there are sets that are obviously it's a different theme because it's different program language and everything, or different platform, but it's nice to see that y'all are working together and there's no like bad blood, that he's not just like upset that, oh, I did the IDE thing first, why are you trying to do it too? It's nice to see that y'all are working together.
Yeah. Oblotsky gave me thumbs up for so I could use the set. There was no
No accusations of like copying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, that was actually going to be one of my questions was, did you talk to Oblotsky about this? And I've heard nothing but nice things in regards to Oblotsky. He's someone we'd love to have on the show. Just because he's been around forever and then obviously made some amazing sets. So
yeah,
so
he was the first person I actually asked feedback on Gmk Dracula, I think. Yeah.
So, and then so I have one more question or a couple more questions about this. The module is definitely a different step for this set. It's definitely I get where it's coming from with I imagine I don't code, but I imagine error. I kind of put two and two together. But how was it? How did this kind of add-on kit come about, and all of that?
I don't remember exactly, but I think the whole kit was almost a last minute add-on, and it just I think it started with just having the Vim arrows, and then I just thought all these cool different things around those and all these error keys. And I mean, you don't have to be a coder or a developer to really enjoy those keys.
Mm-hmm.
It's just error.
It's a cool touch. It's a nice addition to and it's presented in such a cool way as well.
Yeah.
And all the regular non-novelty keys that are red are all error correcting keys, like backspace and delete, and that's the idea behind those.
Double next level. I like the idea that someone's gonna sit there and be like, man, fuck today. I'm putting on these error keys. It's time to get angry and throw some red on my board.
So your Dracula was actually supported or shared by the people over at the Dracula theme. How did that happen, and what did that feel like to notice that had happened?
I mean, it was not a surprise, I was in talks with the creator of the theme from the beginning, before I even released the first picture for the first interest check on Reddit, and he was on board from the start and really liked the idea, and yeah.
Awesome that they supported something, because I'm sure not many of them, some of them might, but not many of them probably knew that this hobby existed, or that these types of keycap group buys exist.
Yeah, I don't think he had any idea. Yeah.
Nice. Well, you're spreading the great word of mechanical keyboards.
Yep.
And so how was I know Dixie approached you. I know he said that he kind of jumped at the chance to work with you and sell Dracula. Obviously made a great choice. So how was working with Dixie and that whole process? How eager was he to jump into conversations with you?
I mean, it has been really fun and nice working with Dixie, and mm, he really has been a huge help with the set, and he's been with me throughout the whole process, and we've designed and tweaked the kits together, and have talked about so many things. And yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah.
He is. He's a fun guy. Great marketer, great businessman.
Yeah, definitely.
And
That's one of the reasons I think I picked him.
well, because when he when we've had him on before, and he talked about Dracula, he talked about how it was one of the first sets, if not the only set, that he's actually reached out to try to run.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah,
Well,
that's nice to hear.
so yeah, he and yeah, I still remember. I don't remember. I guess I can look that up. Hell, but so yeah, this interest check was launched in May of 2019. So for those who were not in the hobby around that time, it was kind of the knight in shiny armor interest check, because this was right around the time Keycap renders had come out, and we were just as to take one from Quakeum's, people were throwing colors at a wall and seeing what was sticking, because there were just so many interest checks out. So how was it? I know you'd been working on it for a while, but how are you feeling whenever you release the interest check amongst all of these other interest checks that we're releasing?
I didn't really pay that much attention to other sets. I just did my own thing. Yeah. I felt a bit pressured by the release of the Gmk Nord interest check, and I had been working on Dracula already, and I just thought, oh man, now someone's just gonna come up with using Dracula somewhere else and doing something awful with it.
Did that make you kind of move faster with getting it out?
Yeah, definitely.
Competition's always fun. And one question, I don't think we've asked this question in a hot minute. How many sets of GMK Dracula did you get?
I think I got 7 base kits.
There
a couple for my friends, and then some for myself, and some for just backup.
Yep.
What's the first board that Dracula's going on when you get it in?
Mm, I don't know. Haven't really thought about that exactly.
Maybe it can be that 910 you still got stowed away.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe something. Maybe some blackboard. Yeah.
During the group buy, what was your reactions to the numbers as they continued to grow, and then that final, after everything was all said and done, that 3,000 number? What was your kind of thoughts and reaction throughout that whole month?
I was pretty surprised, and I was really happy, of course, that people really liked the set, and I didn't really expect all that much, but my expectations were really, really those were blown away. How would you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
It
final.
shocked the whole keyboard world.
Yeah, and the last 1,000, those were extras pretty much. Yeah, on top.
No, those will still get sold out in seconds.
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, the way things have been going, it'll be minutes, if not seconds.
Yeah, so Langlandia is in chat and he ran GMK Cafe, which I believe was number 2 against Dracula. So, you get that little fist bump. I mean, honestly, outside it's still one of those monumental moments in keyboards where it's like it really showed like, oh, we can hit these numbers. Okay. And it was like 8 months ago. And now, I mean, it's great to have the record, and then obviously all these round 2 sets have exceeded, but it kind of makes me think, I'm like, if round 2 Dracula could hit the first 5-digit number.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, moving on to GMK Symbiote, which is your next project that you're working on. You only released one picture. Can you give us a little bit of the backstory and the inspiration for that set?
Yeah. This set was this set will be based on the theme and not the colors. So the colors came like afterwards. It's all about the theme, and it's supposed to represent like a living thing, a symbiote, which is taking a form of a GMK key set, and the theme is alien and retro futuristic, organic, and yeah.
Yeah, I love the alphas on this set. Like, I'm hoping, and it would be obviously up to you, because I guess my first question is, did you design the alphas to this, or was this a font, or?
No. I did not design those myself. That's a font, and I just thought those would look really cool and would fit the theme so well. And those are actually the standard galactic alphabet, and that's from the Commander Keen video game series back from the 90s.
Yeah, it
looks awesome.
It's pretty. Yeah, it looks sick. I mean, like you said, it's kind of alive. There's a lot of like fluid movement in the keycaps, like for it being obviously a stagnant object. It's created movement on the board. It definitely has that, like, I am on a spaceship.
Yeah, there's a lot more a lot more fluid motion than you think you'll see when the IC comes out. Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
oh, go ahead, Chewy.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say, so with this being the second set, what was the difference in approach that you take, or how did it change when designing Symbiote versus Dracula?
Um. Hmm. That's a good question. Like in what regards exactly?
Like when you're thinking of how to attach it to your theme, like how does that approach change?
Hmm. Hmm. Um. I mean, those are really different sets, and um. I wanted to do something different with Gmk Symbiote and use some very organic looking colors and doing something simpler, and it's all based on the theme,
Mm-hmm.
trying to build like a universe around it and all sorts of things.
Nice. Did you start working on this before Dracula finished up, or was this post group buy?
Well, I was working on like a version of this before it evolved into what it is now, before I even started the Dracula IC on. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it's like it's evolved into something else than it was
Mhm.
before, but the theme is still pretty much the same.
Which
yeah, and
that
I'm
fits
sorry,
the
you go.
theme. I was just gonna say that
Yeah.
that fits the theme of the set.
Overall set.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
like that this set's coming out. Like this set wouldn't have worked 2 years ago, right? We wouldn't. It would have been probably way too expensive, and it's a set that I feel like it couldn't have run until 2020. It would have had to wait. You know, it's had to wait a little bit. Um, I think people are ready for new ideas and new things like this. I know Osiris really likes different legends and changing it up from just Latin or sub legends, because it's something new and fresh. There's so many keycap sets that have just, I mean, same thing, different color, right? And so this is very unique in that regard.
Yeah. I don't think there's any set that uses very similar colors. Maybe Bingsu, but this is very different still.
Yeah. Well, the part
Uh,
that to me overlaps with Bingsu is the alphas. And Bingsu does not have alien alphas. So
yeah. And yeah, I have something very exciting in store for this set and all sorts of cool things that I'm excited to show everyone. And yeah.
do we know when that's coming up, or
Uh, Not yet. There's no. I don't have any date to give or anything.
soon TM? Can we get a
Soon.
symbiote Funko? I love it.
That
So, guys, what I want you to do, because this next thing I want to talk about is we haven't really discussed renders and how big rendering is in this community. It's kind of the like silent. It's a huge aspect of our community, right? We talk about renders all the time. We talk about color comparisons with renders, but we don't actually talk about renders just in total. If you guys, I want you guys to click on the picture from the interest check on Reddit because this is a render. And it looks so freaking realistic. It's insane. You've managed to get the graininess of the keycap set as well as putting dust on the on the board to make it look as realistic as possible. This is something that is just unbelievably insane. I think it's amazing that you were able to do this. How do you when going about renders, obviously you want to make it look as realistic, but what made you land on, okay, a normal render is not enough. I have to go take it to the next level.
Well, first of all, thank you. And I just like to go all out and do everything better than it needs to be done. And yeah, that's kind of how I am. And the dust is really what makes everything look realistic. That's the secret sauce.
The dust and the shadows that you have for the keycaps are way more realistic in the way that the light hits it.
Yeah, that's like a direct sunlight. Yeah, on that one. And I've spent countless of hours tweaking the keycap textures and all the different little things. And actually this render is using my old keycaps, and I've reworked all of them, so they're even better now.
They're better than this picture?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This
legends
is garbage. That's
better.
old news. No, it's insane. I also love that you're kind of the package deal, right? You don't have to ask anybody else. Like you're a one-man show when it comes to being able to present all of this stuff.
Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, it's great for me.
Yeah, I mean,
it is. Yeah,
I know that there's some. I've heard some designers talk about when, like, they're limited to renders, right? They would love to release an interest check sooner, but they're unable to because they're waiting on someone renders who's got a backlog of renders that they have to do. And most people that render don't do it full time. That's usually something they do on the side. And so I guess I imagine it's very nice that you don't have to worry about that because the best renderer in the world is also the person that's designing the keycap set.
yeah. Well, I haven't really even thought about having anyone else's renders. Yeah.
How long does it take you to do a render like this?
That's kind of hard to quantify. Like, what do you count in on that? Like it's a long process, and well, once you have the setup ready, then it's pretty fast to just render stuff. But yeah, I don't have any specific time I can give.
Well, I imagine it's working on little bits, slowly improving.
Yeah.
As most graphic designers that I know, they're never ever done with work. They're always, you change one thing and now you want to change 15 things. So
Yeah, Dixie actually said it really well in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
That I'll spend many hours on something that can be used multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
Yep.
So I can use the same keycaps on every render once I've got those done.
Setting yourself up.
Yep.
So, well, guys, if you have questions, please ask away, and we'll happily get them answered to the best of our ability. What I have one question for you though. What are some keycap sets that you are most looking forward to?
Probably Kaiju. Gmk Kaiju.
Oh yeah, we just had Neflock on last week.
And hang on. I'm
No
just
worries.
gonna check the name of a set. Well, what are your sets you're looking forward to?
I'm really excited for Grain and Cafe. Not trying to shill Langlandia, but I think the two that Cafe I'm really excited for, but I think the two that I am most excited for to get in hand is Ursa. I think Ursa's super clean, and an SA Godspeed that's a set that that was my grail keycap set when I first got into the hobby. I was like, that's the board that I want. So
Yeah.
For me, I'm really excited for Bingsu. Can't wait for that to get in. I know Dual Shot will be coming in the next, hopefully by the end of this month. I'm really excited for that. And then as far as one that I'm excited for that hasn't even ran yet, I'm excited for Sloth, for GMK Sloth. And I know
Hell
that's
yeah.
one of Chewy's favorites as well. So those are some of mine.
Yep. It was GMK Peach Blossom.
Yeah, that was what January. I think that was
I
January.
believe so. Yeah.
All pink set.
Yeah.
Novel keys, I think.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. And any boards you were excited for?
I don't want this to sound like a flex, but I won
Flex away, man.
the
Flex it.
I won the raffle for which had the main prize of the TGR Jane V2 CE. So that's what I'm waiting for.
That could be a perfect candidate for GMK Dracula to sit on.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are really excited to get that in. They've been waiting for a while.
Yep. Yep.
So we did have Nathan Alphaman asked very early in the chat. He asked, "What is your favorite Finnish F1 Formula One driver? You have one."
I don't really follow the sport. Probably Kimi Räikkönen.
No idea. I don't follow F1 like at all. I know there's like
that's the one where the cars are like wheels and then like a torpedo in the middle, right? I know NASCAR and F. I think that's the only other one that I would imagine. Sorry for laughing. My dog is barking in his sleep, and he's doing it louder than I have ever heard him do. So I'm sitting here like trying to like so. Langlandia asks, do you have what are some other hobbies that you have outside of keyboards?
Just gaming on PC and gym, weightlifting, some jogging, pretty basic things. Yeah.
Everyone, we're definitely big gamers here. Enjoy. What are some of your favorite games?
Probably my favorite of all time is Fallout New Vegas.
Ooh,
That's
classic.
the one. And I spend all the time, most of the time, just modding it instead of playing it. That's the best part.
Mm-hmm.
That's how a lot of people get with, I know, like Skyrim. People are just sitting there trying to see how they can do fun new things. I've actually never
Yeah.
played new.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute since I've played it. Did you ever use Fallout NVVE? Asks Zor Clicky Clack. Which I don't know if we said this, but thank you for the sub, by the way, Zor Clicky Clack. 1 year. Thank you.
Oh. NVV.
The
It's-
I don't
mod
think
tool.
Is it a mod tool?
Mm-hmm.
No. I mean, I don't do the mods myself.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I just like I just gather all the good mods and yeah.
Try them out and figure out which one's
Yeah.
best.
Which one's great and which one doesn't break the game.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. So real quick, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. So you can check out switchmod.net/mexondeck, 4% off your order. If you can get some lube. I know he's not going to be doing lubes for much longer, so be sure to get in on that as soon as you can. But he's also got some springs and some keister switches or keycaps and stickers and stuff like that. So be sure to check that out. Project Keyboard, you can go to mexondeck.project.link. And if you use that, go pick up Gmk Sumi, which just launched today. So be sure to get in on that those day one orders. So be sure to go grab that. Also, candykeys.com/mexondeck for GMK bread, as well as SA Row 3 Mizu, two awesome sets over on Candy Keys. And a big shout out today to Dixie Mech. You can go to mexondeck.dixiemech.com to pick up GMK Nuclear Data, an amazing green set with the Cadet Alphas, which we don't see very much of. But also, big shout out to Dixie for introducing us to you, because I'd never gotten a chance to really converse with you until Dixie introduced us. So big shout out to him as well.
Yeah. Too bad you didn't get to buy that champagne for me. If Dracula had won the what
Key set of the year.
Yeah.
I wanted it to win. I mean, honestly, Olivia's a great friend. I've enjoy a lot of anytime I get a chance to talk to her. We used to play video games actually quite a bit together, but anytime I get a chance, but I wanted to see the champion fall. You want to root for the underdog, right? I guess there's another question. How was that experience? Because that was, I'm sure, just another crazy, key set of the almost key set of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't shocked at all that Olivia ++ won. I mean, that was pretty obvious, almost.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised, a little bit surprised that Dracula didn't lose earlier on. Yeah.
It was a fun contest this year, especially because the way that everything kind of panned out. There were some upsets, but it was like the stronger sets got to the end as far as the sets that sold more did better in the tournament, which was cool to see.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and you're the only Dracula was the closest that Olivia had. Dracula was one of the few sets that didn't have its numbers literally doubled by Olivia. And I'm gonna say this, like I've said it, Olivia basically was 2 sets running as one, and it drove its way to the finals.
That also kind of got in on a technicality too.
Yes.
So you're basically the winner.
You're a winner in my book, right?
Oh, thank you.
I'll send you a plaque that says that's me going, "You're a winner in my book."
Nice little meme format. Gonna get with the big
Great.
block letters.
So, but also shout out to our partners, Zap Cables. They make the best cables around, so please go check those guys out. Type Beast. You can go to typebea.st to get in on one of the best newsletters that is in this hobby, as well as Smith and Rune. Hit up smithrune.com and go pick up some merch as you patiently await or impatiently await, as most of us, for the Iron 180. Pick up some merch. They've got some really awesome merch up on their store.
Yeah, you can get sweatpants. All that. You can get joggers. You can get hats.
Joggers and beanies in Texas in July, because that's what we need right now is sweatpants and beanies.
Hey, it's okay. But Mr. Pikku-Allu, we very much appreciate you staying up so late, hanging out with us and talking with us.
Yeah, for those who don't know, it's like 4 a.m. for him.
Yeah,
Or 5
it's
a.m.
5 a.m. now.
So, but yeah, thank you very, very much for staying up with us. I know that most people would not do that, so especially during the week. So I appreciate you doing that. And thank you for making such a unique. It was like somehow. I feel like Dracula was one of those sets that was like, it's very unique, but it also sits at home with people. I think that's why it did so well. Is that it's like, I know this set, but it's different and it's new and it's fresh. It's like, I think that's why people connected so well. So thank you for making such an amazing set.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact it was like so well just like put together in all aspects.
Yeah.
Like every piece. It was cool to see something that was. It seemed like you had thought of every piece that needed to be done, and you had accounted for every scenario in the way that you presented the set, the way you put the kits together. So props to
No, thanks.
So, well, guys, thank you for joining us. Next week, we're going to have Mr. Nathan Alphaman on, the designer of Gmk Ursa, as well as a keyboard designer of the Evolve. So be sure to stick around on next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Check for that, as well as next week. Osiris is going to be building a canoe, which neither of us have really built a canoe. That was kind of the old school, like top of the line boards when we started. So excited to get that built, as well as our standard Monday Mechs on Deck stream. So be sure to check that out. I think we're gonna hit up Apiary. She stood me up yesterday, so we're gonna poke fun at that.
Sounds good.
So let me get this set up.
Also, I don't think we thanked Starstone for the 10 months. Thank you, Mr. Starstone, for the 10 months. Appreciate that. Yeah, we will be back next week, 8 p.m. Monday. Come join us on our Discord. You missed an episode, you want to go back and look at something, check out our YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
I think that's it.
Thank you very much for joining us. And as always, buy a Switch tester.